see it? Okay.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
we can
Your
see.
screen is visible.
All right. Okay. So before this, let me start from here. All right. So we all are here for the upcoming batch of ours, which will be teaching, I'll be teaching this batch, and I'll be taking this batch, and this batch is scheduled for checkpoint, and the course we will be targeting will be checkpoint CCSA and CCSE. All right. What is the course name? It's CCSA and CCSE. All right. So this is the course we will be targeting in this particular batch. So I'll be coming back to this particular CCSA and CCSE. So till now, let me start from very basic about this checkpoint and everything. Let me have a discussion about myself, and then like who all are the like good people or like best people for this particular course, and who all should join this batch, and how I will be approaching this technology. All right. So this is sort of lecture number one. Okay, I'll be taking this as a lecture number one. So I'll be giving you some sort of understanding regarding the checkpoint. I would say basic understanding, not the in-depth one, because today it will be around 1 hour session only. So it will be a very small session. So very broader picture I'll be showing you, not the deeper one. All right. So let's start without jumping, like without doing delaying, or without delaying it further actually. Okay. So this is basic introduction of checkpoint, which we will be targeting today. You all are very welcome. This is a real-time box of checkpoint, and this is 4600. This box is discontinued now, but if you can see, this box is available in the market, so you will be having certain LAN ports, some WAN ports, console port, USB port, and some navigation buttons and some LEDs. All right. This is how the 4600 box was look like. Now they have, like, Checkpoint have launched their new logo, new product line. So nowadays the things are very much different. Okay. I'll be showing you those hardware models also. Now, who am I? Like, why you should listen to me, right? Everyone knows about it, right? Like everyone is eager to learn about me. Like, who is this person from whom I will be learning this particular technology? So first of all, my name is Vikas, and I'm working as a network security engineer from 10 plus years. Okay, from 10 plus years. Apart from this industry experience, I have 6 plus years of teaching experience. So what I do generally, I combine my these two experiences, and I try to give the best possible knowledge of checkpoint to my students. You can connect with my older students. You can connect with my colleagues on LinkedIn, or maybe if they are already with you in some other batches of networking, so you can take the understanding from them that how I proceed. I always take a topic from the scratch. Okay, I never assume that you should be able to understood this, right? I never assumed that. What I assume that you should be CCNA trained or you should be basic network engineer. Why I say this? Because let's suppose if I'll say that I have taken 192.168.1.0/24 network, and then I'll mention that 192.168.10.0/24 network. So you should be able to understand this particular IP addresses ranges, and you should be able to understand what are the differences between them. All right. So these things you should be able to understand. If you understand these basic things, rest, leave it everything on me. This is my work to make you all very much comfortable in the checkpoint. Okay. All right. Now, who you are, like who should join this particular course? If you think the checkpoint will be used in future where you are working, or you think that you are already working in the environment where checkpoint is being used, right? Or in future you will be dealing with the checkpoint, or you want to enhance your career or start your career in checkpoint, it's my highly recommendation is starts with checkpoint. Why from the checkpoint? I oftenly get this question that why you always recommend that one should start their firewall security career from checkpoint, because checkpoints concept is very easy to understand. Checkpoints configuration is very much easy to do. You just need to understand the concepts. That's all. You need to understand how the policy, right? Access control list. Policy means the access control list which we will be creating on the firewall, how that ACL works. If you understand this, you will be able to create the policies very, very, very much efficiently. So any of these questions answer is yes, my friend, you are the one who will be joining the this particular class. Apart from this, I need at least 30 to 30 plus hour 35 hours to complete this both CCSA and CCSC. So this 30-35 hours happens from 2 to 2.5 months, let's suppose, right? So what I need one promise. I need a promise like this person is doing by keeping the hand on the holy book. What I need a promise from yourself that for the coming 2.5 months, I will be giving 1 hour daily to checkpoint. That's all you need. If you are ready to do this promise and you have basic understanding of CCNA, that's all you need. Rest, I will be doing everything. Okay. Now, okay. One more thing. I oftenly get this question that okay, I understood that you are recommending the checkpoint to learn from the as a first or primary firewall if you want to start your career, and what exactly this technology is all about. What are the ranking of this technology in the global environment? So this is the report of the Gartner, right, for the network firewalls, and this record was published in 2020. And if you follow the report of 2021 as well as 2022 also, in both the reports, you will see Checkpoint Software Technologies is already there in the section of leaders. So it's been around 9-10 years that Checkpoint Technology is available in this leader section. Now, what do you mean by this leader section? So what this Gartner do, they take the product of a company, let's suppose Fortinet, let's suppose Checkpoint, and let's suppose Palo Alto or any other vendor product. They always try to use it and use it in an efficient manner, and they see what sort of feature, what sort of flexibility, what sort of support, and what is the goal or focus of the company for the coming years. On the basis of all these parameters, they publish this report. So as per them, we have these three technologies which are in the leader section. Earlier, before to 2020, I believe in 2018 and 2019, the Cisco was also part of this particular section, but now Cisco is not part of this section basically. So if you're learning this particular checkpoint, this is really very good technology. Gartner is also saying that it's a leaders, right? So it's very much new and good technology to learn. All right. Now, before proceeding, let me show you the certification path. So the base and the first certification is CCSA, which is Checkpoint Certified Security Administrator. Then you have CCSA, which is Checkpoint Certified Security Expert. And you have VSX and MDS available after CCSE, where multi-domain services will be coming into picture. So my course in which you will be enrolling or you will be joining, in this particular course, we will be targeting these two certifications, CCSA and CCSE. Okay, I will be focusing the industry standard. Okay, we will be following the industry standard. I will be giving you the understanding how the work will be done in industry, how you will be doing the configuration over there. All right. So CCSA and CCSC we are targeting. In the between, when I will be creating the lab for you all, in that time I will be teaching you about the VSX and the MDS also, and I will be giving you the basic understanding of these two technologies, so that if in case in a future you want to upgrade yourself in the VSX and MDS, you can do that very easily. All right. So till here, if anyone have any issue, any doubt, anything, you can let me know right now.
No, Vikas, it's clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Now, before proceeding to the concepts of this CCS and CCSC, let me have the understanding of this particular course content, and let me show you what exactly I will be covering in this particular batch. So just give me one moment. Let this pen comes up and then we'll start. Okay. This is what checkpoint firewall course content topics, and this is for CCSA and CCSE. All right. So first of all, we will have the overview of the checkpoint, in which I will cover history, architecture, and the packet flow of it. Because whenever you are learning a new technology, these three or four parameters are very important for you to understand whenever you are jumping in a new technology. I have seen many people that they are working from 6 7 years in the industry on the firewall, but they do not know the packet flow of it. They do not know the architecture of that firewall, history of that firewall, right? So in the first particular this section, we will be discussing the overview of checkpoint. Then, then Basically, this particular course, I will be creating your labs and everything on the networking lab. So I'll not be showing you the like lab creation on your personal laptop, but I will be telling you how you can do that. Okay, although I would not suggest you to create your own lab on the laptop and just wait every day to get that lab started and then you work on it, and no, it's a bit complex actually. So what is the good way? You already have the facility available within the networking where you can have the access of the lab. Just opt that option and join the lab community and perform your labs basically, right? Why? Because labs are very much important. It gives you the real time hands-on to a person who want to move to the this particular technology. Okay, then we'll discuss the introduction of checkpoint components. In the checkpoint we have multiple components like smart console, logs, monitor, demo mode, smart update, and licensing and bleeds. We will discuss each of them in very much detail. Okay, I'll be showing you all these particular options now. After that, we will be discussing the concept of policy and netting, where I'll be discussing the hide net, static, and Uternet. Then cluster introduction. Now, what is cluster? Your failover, right? Your failover, I'll be configuring over here. In the failover, I'll be covering the HA cluster XL load sharing multicast unicast. Now, this load sharing multicast and unicast is not part of the R80 latest versions, but the option you won't be able to enable the options over there, but the option is still there. That's the reason I have already mentioned over there, so that I can give you the brief of these particular technologies, although I won't be able to demonstrate the lab for these particular things like load sharing because this is obsolete now from the market. All right. But I will be giving you the basic understanding of this particular technology. Then I will be discussing I will be discussing the checkpoint firewall monitor, where I will be discussing the SAM rule and the troubleshooting which what one can do in case of the DOS attack. Let's suppose you have a DOS attack situation in your organization. How and what exactly steps you need to perform to mitigate that DOS attack from the network. Then I will be giving you some basic troubleshooting commands to everyone so that you can perform all the L1 types troubleshooting from the from the firewall itself, or from the uh, local as a local IT itself. Okay. Now after that we'll discuss about the firewall backup, where I'll be explaining the snapshot backup, import export backup, and the revision control, and what are all the differences between these three firewall backup types, and which one you should follow or you should take one, like which one you should follow in your particular environment. All right. Then I'll be discussing the checkpoint policy installation process, where I'll be discussing the daemons and the working and daemons. Then the VPN configuration in the checkpoint firewall. When you talk about the VPN configuration, we have two type of VPN. One is called site-to-site VPN. One is called remote access VPN, right? So when you discuss about the site-to-site VPN, in that site-to-site VPN, we have phase one and phase two, different types used in phases, basically, right? And then we have remote access VPN or mobile access control on the checkpoint firewall. All right, this is your VPN section. Then we have some acceleration techniques, where we will discuss the secure XL, cluster XL, and core XL, and we'll try to have the understanding what all are these technologies and how they help one administrator to perform, like to make their firewall perform well. All right, now After that, we will discuss the kernel level understanding and the packet flow of checkpoint firewall. I'll be explaining the kernel level packet flow to you, and after which I will be explaining the layer 7 features which is available on the checkpoint firewall. For example, HTTPS inspection, IPS, IDS, URL filtering, threat prevention, content prevention, application awareness, right? These all are the layer 7 features profiles which you can create on the firewall, and you can have these options particularly enabled for your firewall. After that, I'll be demonstrating the LDAP integration and authentication of the LDAP on this particular checkpoint firewall. So this is the brief of CCS and CCSC course content. There are multiple subtopics which are already there on this particular course, but I did not have mentioned it actually, right? Because otherwise this PDF would have been a very lengthy PDF. So I did not wanted that, so that's the reason I have not mentioned the subtopics. I have given the bigger topic available over there, right? Anyone having any doubt in the syllabus part?
Because Senthil here. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I gone through your previous videos, the course content, right? A couple of things seems to be missed. So you will be covered during the live session.
For an
For
example,
example, the layer 7 features, right? Anti, sorry, anti-spoofing,
uh,
anti-bot. Couple of things are missed in the content, right? So you will be covered during the live sessions, or
you see, anti-spoofing we will be covering in the packet flow itself. And if you have seen my previous videos, now you would have seen that anti-spoofing concept on the
uh,
packet
fire
flow
packet
lecture.
flow.
Yes,
Yes.
so I generally cover that anti-spoofing in the packet flow itself. Okay,
Okay,
because it's a very
antivirus.
important. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
antivirus, anti-bot.
yeah. Everything is already there. Now you are filtering, threat prevention, content inspection, right?
Yeah.
IPS, IDS, antivirus will be also there in the layer 7 inspection.
So
So
that all
all
will
these
be covered,
profiles,
right?
yeah. So all
Oh,
these profiles, I'll be teaching you how you can create it, and what exactly the benefit you will be getting when you will be enabling these profiles on your firewall. Okay,
okay.
all right. Now let's start the history of the checkpoint. So there is no very big sort of history available for the checkpoint. A brief one that initially they have started the IPSO. From IPSO, they have upgraded to the Splat, and from Splat, they are upgraded to the Gaia. Now, back in 2012, they have launched this Gaia, and now they are in the version of Gaia R81.10. This is the current running version going on in the market of the checkpoint. And if you talk about our labs, we will be discussing about R81. Okay. So this we will be using in our lab, and the current running is this. All right. So we are just one step behind because I do not want to use this one in my lab. This might be very unstable for the lab, or some other constraints should be there, right? Can be there. So this was the history of the checkpoint, very much small or very sorted history it is. They have started from the IPSO, and IPSO was very, basic sort of functions was there. Then from IPSO, they have done a lot of works on their GUI and everything. Then they have launched Splat, but in the Splat also there were lot of bugs and everything was there because it was based on the Linux, Red Hat Linux, right? So back in 2012, they have launched a new version of Splat where they have involved the feature of IPSO, and they have named it Gaia. Okay, so this is the basic history of the checkpoint. Now, if you go here, you can see. that the Gen 1, what is it? Generation 1 was launched in 1990 and the first product was the antivirus protection. Then in 2000, they have launched the firewall. This was a generation 2. Generation 3 was intrusion prevention, IPS. Then we had behavior analytic, then multi-vector prevention, then nano security. So right now, Checkpoint in 2021, they are working on the nano security part. And that's the reason I always say Checkpoint is the company who have biggest R&D team available in the market. All right. So this was the duration and the product type which was launched by your particular checkpoint throughout the years. Now, if you ask me, these all are the features which are available on the checkpoint. And just to mention, by default, if you're installing checkpoint on your PC, you will be getting one evaluation license that will be for 15 days. So in that 15 days you can use all these services, you can work on all these services, and that too very much free. So if they will be ending this evaluation, they will be sending you the emails, they will be sending you the pop-ups that we are like expiring this evaluation, please purchase a contract. So in that case, what you can do, you can delete the firewall and you can recreate one new firewall and your firewall will be renewed. All right. Now, so before coming to the control, traffic control methods and everything, I have a question to everyone. So, okay, let me tell you this. Do you know, do you know, Checkpoint is not a zone-based firewall. Do you know what is zone-based firewall? Anyone?
We can configure uh, the different segment like LAN, WAN, DMC that comes under zone faced.
Correct. So you know what? In other firewalls, for example, your Cisco, Palo Alto, or Fortinet, or other firewalls, you have to create a zone and then you need to assign one interface to the zone. For example, let's suppose if I have created one particular zone called outside, so I will be assigning all my outside interfaces on this particular zone. Similarly, if I'll be having one zone called inside, I will be having all the interfaces bind to the inside. Okay. Now, the question is, why checkpoint is not a zone-based firewall? So to answer this, let me take you to OneNote. Okay, let me use this page. Okay, so let me draw a diagram and then I'll explain what exactly I'm trying to say over here. So if you talk the fundamental, what is fundamental diagram of CP? If you want to see, let's suppose this is the checkpoint. Okay. This is what? This is checkpoint, correct? Now, let's suppose this is my inside interface. This is my outside interface, right? Now, if you don't know what is inside and outside, inside is the port through which your LAN traffic will be entering to the firewall, and the outside will be from where your LAN traffic will be like exiting the firewall and will be going to the internet. That is your outside, right? Now, if you divide this, so this is like okay. So what it is, the below part of this firewall is called kernel mode. What is it? Kernel mode. And the above part of your firewall is called user mode. This is kernel mode and this is user mode. Now, in between, you have operating system and IP schema, right? Now, what happens whenever traffic comes? It will come like this and it will be entered to your kernel mode. Now, if you want to ask kernel mode, the first thing is your level 1 processing, layer 2 processing, and layer 3 processing. All layer 3, even layer 4 processing also will be happening at the kernel mode layer. Always remember. Very important question for your interview also. They will ask what exactly the role of kernel mode in your firewall. So you can say the kernel mode is the mode where all the traffic hits by default, and basically the level 1 processing, level 2 processing, 3 and 4 processing will be happening at this particular level. And after that, if if packet required layer 7 feature check also. Now, what is layer 7 feature check? Your IPS, IDS, HTTPS inspection, and anything. In that case, you can send the traffic from kernel mode to the user mode. Okay. Understood till here, everyone? Any particular doubt? Anyone?
Because the level 1, level 2, it's related to OSI layer, right?
Correct.
Layer
OSI
1
layer.
to layer 4.
Yes. So
Okay.
in the OSI model, we have total 7 layers, right? So when we talk about layer 1, it's a physical layer. Then layer 2, data link layer. Layer 3, network layer. And layer 4 is transport layer, right? So all these 4 layer traffic for those this layer 4 headers will be processed by your kernel mode. And if layer 7 like presentation session or anything application level inspection required, in that case your user mode will be coming into the picture. Okay, but you need to understand all, let me mention all layer 7 packet flow, right? But you need to understand one thing: this user mode do not have the authority to drop the packet, to drop the packet. So when the traffic will be going to the user mode, it will try to inspect it for all the features which is being enabled or being purchased by the customer. So it will check all the layer 7 features over there. And let's suppose if the action is drop, right? So it will not drop the packet here. It will send the packet back to kernel mode and this packet will be dropped here. So user mode will not perform any action on the user mode level. It will send the parameter, it will send the packet to the kernel mode and kernel mode will be allow or pass it. Make sense or not, everyone?
Yeah, yes, Vikas.
Any particular doubt? Let me repeat it again. So whenever by default traffic comes to the firewall, it hits the kernel mode, and on the kernel mode, we process all the layer 1, 2, 3, 4 packets or headers. And for the layer 7 packets or headers, we send the traffic to the user mode, and user mode does not perform any operation. It just take the decision whether the packet is allowed or decide. If it's allowed, it will pass the traffic to the kernel mode, and it will say that deny the traffic or drop the traffic or allow the traffic. This is how this particular thing works. Now, for an example, a packet has come. What that packet is for Facebook chat, right? Let's suppose the packet has come from this particular firewall. It has landed to your checkpoint. It has been gone to kernel mode. On the kernel mode, all these checks will be happening. And after that, your user mode will say the application is Facebook, and Facebook is blocked by our network team on the firewall or XYZ reason. So your user mode will be sending that packet to the kernel mode again, that please drop the packet for the Facebook, because Facebook is not allowed over the firewall, and your kernel mode will drop this packet. If the action is allowed, it will be coming back to kernel mode, and your kernel mode will allow the traffic, and it will be passed like from outside or any other port. So checkpoint says that hmm, let's suppose you are getting hit on the kernel mode, and let's suppose you got a DOS attack, right? You got a DOS attack on the firewall. So the billions or millions of packets is getting hit on this particular interface. Now this kernel mode will be highly utilized, but my user mode will be altogether free. And when I'll be logging to the firewall through one application of checkpoint, which is called smart console, so I will be logging to user mode. Over there I can do the logging, I can see the live traffic of the particular traffic which is going through the firewall, and on the basis of it I can take the decision. Make sense or not? That's the reason the checkpoint says that when the DOS attack will be happening, my kernel mode will be impacted, my user mode will not be impacted. So through the help of user mode, I can control my kernel mode, which is totally agree, and I'll show you how you can do that. So any particular doubt till now? Anyone? That's the reason checkpoint says we do not need the zone concept of zones on this particular checkpoint firewall. It's not under we are not using it, and we never use it in the production. That's the reason why. Because if your firewall is zone based firewall, what is the main funda of zones are like main funda is your interfaces will be binded to the zone, and by default inter zone communication will not be allowed, right? That's what the zone does. Why they create this such policy? Because they want to protect the firewall, right, from the DOS attack. Now here you can see we already have the different modes over here. One is kernel mode, one is user mode, and my kernel mode, if let's suppose kernel mode is 100% utilized and DOS attack is happening, it's behaving like deaf and dumb, I can simply log into the user mode, I can go to the smart console, I can check the traffic, I can block the source IP immediately. So that's the reason I do not require, or we do not require the zone concept of zones on this particular checkpoint firewall. Anyone, any doubt? Anyone?
Uh, because, for example, DOS attack, right? Why
Mhm.
the packet is not going from kernel mode to user mode?
See, whenever the DOS attack happens, DOS attack, let's suppose, thin flood attack, right? So what is the purpose of the DOS attack basically? What is DOS? DOS, see, if you do you know what is DOS? DOS is denial of
Denial of
service, right?
service.
correct? And what is the motto for the DOS? The motto is to make the service unavailable, right? How they can do that? They can do that either the SYN flood attacks, right? So there are such kind of attacks in which you will be sending billions of packets for the SYN request only, right? And in the SYN request, if you go and study about the TCP, in the SYN request, there will not be any data. There will not be any data. So until only there is no data available in the SYN packet, you won't be able to perform the layer 7 features on it, right?
So
Where
it's
you apply the
normally a
layer.
blank header.
Yeah, it will be having source, destination IP, source IP, and destination IP, source port, and the destination port, and all the things, but it does not have any data. So, always remember that layer 7 features will be working only and only the packet which will be containing the data in it, right? For example, HTTPS inspection. You can enable HTTPS inspection only and only for the traffic which is coming through the HTTPS. Make sense or not?
Okay. So you don't have a record information. That's the reason it not passing the traffic to user mode.
It does not require to go to the user mode, na?
Yeah, because it not contain any
Hmm.
information.
Hmm.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So all the billions of packets which are coming from the attacker for the DOS attack will be handled by your kernel mode. And if your kernel mode is going very high, very high, let's suppose 99%, still your user mode is still active, right? You can go to the logs, you can see the logs, and you can block the traffic from where the source, from which source this particular DOS attack is happening. This is the one classic example I have given you where your user mode will not be engaged. Any other doubt, anyone? If no, so I would say that's all for today. This was a short and quick demo because I had only 1 hour, like very limited time today. So I have a lot more discussion to be done on this particular topic. So I just given you a brief about the fundamental diagram or block diagram you can say of checkpoint. This is how the block diagram of checkpoint, and this is how the traffic will be flowing inside the checkpoint. We will discuss a lot of things on this particular, but this was the basic, like why checkpoint. And it's a very good question in your interview, that why checkpoint is not a zone based firewall, why you are not using the zone concept in checkpoint. Because I do not need it in the zone, like I do not need the zones like in my checkpoint. Simple, right? Anyone else having any sort of question?
No guess.
All right, perfect. Then I would say that's all for today. This was the short and crisp demo which I have given on the checkpoint. This is the upcoming batch of mine, which is CCSA and CCSE. Okay, and most probably this batch will be starting from coming Saturday, I believe, right? Not from tomorrow, and I think this will be done from coming Saturday. And if this batch will be starting from tomorrow, they will be like networkings will be informing you all that this batch will be starting from tomorrow, and just join the batch if it is getting start from